Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Green Park Hotel and Resort here in Pendik, Istanbul, Turkey. And once again, we are on the precipice of 16 of the very best matches in the sport of professional arm wrestling. Around me, we've assembled the best. I say we, a legend of the sport in Engin Terzi. Engin, what a collection of guys you've got here.
This is the sixth time that we are organizing East versus West, and I'm very happy and honored to host all these superstars here from the West and from the East. And yeah, we are in a incredible competition at the table, outside of the table. We are like family, but tomorrow evening there will be tons of pressure at the table, and I just can't wait to watch.
Tons of pressure, ladies and gents, just like myself sat here in these 38 jeans, but less about that, and let's move on with the show. And we start with a guy who has just welcomed himself back to the sport of arm wrestling. He's got high aspirations, he's got genuine pedigree, and he was looking for a big challenge. He's from the United States of America, and his name is Doug Erlich. Doug, welcome back, mate. It's fair to say you're looking for a big challenge here, and you've got one in Supermatch specialist Llipinch.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I don't think it's as much of a challenge as you think it's going to be, but he sure thinks it's going to be. But it's he's definitely been lying to me a little bit, so I can tell he's nervous.
In immortal words of Conor McGregor, who the F is that guy?
How long did you think for that one?
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It took me 10 minutes, yeah. I'm pretty humble guy, and I think you're way over your head, and tomorrow you're gonna drown.
You've been preaching this humble thing for so long now, and but the videos say otherwise, and then you're posting 16-0 and claiming to be. You're not Levon. You're not. I don't know who you think you are right now, but.
I'm pretty humble.
Yeah, I mean, who are you beating?
16 matches and 16 guys in 2022.
I win 16 matches every Sunday at practice.
It's nothing. Don't worry that I took more souls in 1 year than you have taken in your whole career. Don't worry about it. You know, it's all going to be
I've
easy.
got bigger wins than you got. I'll take the quality over the quantity.
You're clearly the more humble guy than I am.
Yeah. Well, 1%.
It is true.
Doug, we spoke briefly, and you told us that people didn't know who you were. You believed in yourself. You've had wins in the sport that people weren't aware of. You came in, you started kicking people about, and you wanted to go back in with a big bang, with a splash, and let people remember your name. You told us that you were selecting a guy that would get you onto that barometer, would get you noticed. Now that you're here and you see Ray in person, and I know you've been speaking to people around the venue, any regrets, or do you think you've made the right choice?
He's actually smaller than I thought he was. I mean, he's got a big following. It's good exposure. It's my way back in. So he's the first step into what's going to be a big 2023.
First time I hear I'm smaller in person than people thought, I was like, oh my God, that hurt me a lot, like a knife to my head, to my heart. But I have a big heart, and I will never give up, and all this bullshit. I don't think you understand what you got yourself into, and tomorrow at 8 p.m., you're gonna find out.
If we were pulling a best of 16, I'd agree, but we see you lose like the first 10 matches every time, right?
Exactly. First, yeah, I usually pull best of 11, but for you, I upgraded, understood. I was like, okay, I have to win first ones, and you're not getting a single pin on me. I guarantee that.
We can bet our, you want to bet our prize money?
I'm a poor guy. I just have 100,000 subscribers. I can't bet shit.
And some more. Yeah, I mean, if you're that confident, 3-0 sounds like you need to put it up.
I'm pretty confident.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I agree with the prize money, man. You got a little stuck right there, boy. You sure?
Go. Let's go.
Oh, he backtracked it
I'm
first.
just kidding, Doug. You might need that money too, man. Be careful. Don't let me talk y'all into that.
Ladies and gentlemen, exciting match, high-pressure match in prospect tomorrow. Ryman's coach Ray Llipinch, Doug Erlich. We're going to see it tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Remember, if you have not got your pay-per-view purchase, now would be a good time, guys. Only 1 day away. And we move on with our card. USA's own legendary Robert Baxter making his way back into the game against Ahmad Yennera. Robert, you guys have met before. You met before very recently, and you've shared honors in previous matches. He's a guy you've beaten. He's a guy you've lost to. What changes tomorrow night?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I really like Ahmed. Great guy. I'll feel bad handing a loss to him, but I'm going to hand him a loss.
And Ahmed, obviously, same question really, mate. This is a man you beat most recently, your last encounter. You came out with the win. Are we going to see the same tomorrow?
Senin diyor daha önce diyor yendin diyor. Şimdi geldin gene karşında diyor. Gene yenecek misin diyor. Aynı şey görecek miyiz diyor.
Robert çok güçlü. Yani elimden geleni yapacağım. Yenmeye çalışacağım ama işim zor. Evet hocam.
He says that Robert is very, very strong. I will do my best, but I will have some difficult time with him, he says. Eklemek istediğin başka bir şey var mı?
İyi olan kazansın hocam.
He said that let the better puller win tomorrow. Senin ona karşı mağlubiyet şeyin ne sağ kolla?
Geçen sene o sahada beni almıştı. Bu sene ben onu aldım.
Okay, he says that last year he beat me, and this year I beat him. It means like 2021, Robert beat him, and 2022 he beat Robert. So I think he will be a tiebreaker. You want to add anything else, Robert?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity for the rematch. It's quite an honor and a privilege to be able to set the record straight, and I think this will be exciting.
I'm honored to have each of you here. I thank you guys.
Thank you, Ingen.
Just one more question for you, Robert. Obviously, you've got massive experience, mate. You've been in the game forever. But most of the time, it's been in main draw competition, knockout competition. Does anything change? Is this better for you tomorrow over multiple rounds or worse?
I think it's better. I like to be able to really focus on one opponent and really train that for that one opponent. I think it's an advantage.
Tomorrow night, guys, Robert Baxter, Ahmad Yennera goes down our second match on the card, and then we move forward to an all-Turkish affair, FA Cormac, and Ibak Birketon on the left arm. FA, we'll start with you, mate. You've been here before, and you've been impressive before. How confident are you?
He's a very talented, strong guy, and he's also the world champion of my category, so I will be very, very pleased after I defeat him.
Onu demedi de şeyi soruyor. Kendine ne kadar güvenin var diye soruyor.
100%.
Yeah, he's 100%. Yeah. Can you ask Ibak? Yeah. What does Ibak think about this match? Efe says that he's a very talented guy and he's 100% sure he's gonna win. And what does Ibak think?
He thinks that Ibak is talented guy. He thinks himself is talented guy.
What's that? He's saying himself that he's gonna win. Yeah, not his own.
Assalamualaikum. Men бұл жарысқа жақсы дайындалып келдім. Енді ол 100% жеңетін болса, оны ертеңгі жарыс көрсетеді деп ойлаймын.
He said he has prepared himself more than 100%. If Efe really believes that he will win 100%, then only table will tell the truth tomorrow.
Cormac and Beckett tomorrow night. First of all, left-hand encounters, and straight after that, a very, very big left-hander between two very, very big men. Corey West of the USA, a real big name in the sport right now who's making enormous waves, will come in and test himself against the legendary Ferit Osmanly. Guys at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of experience, one trying to make his name and establish himself as one of the biggest names in the game. The other one, who's fighting to retain and regain that position. We'll start with you, Corey West. This is a big match. You've been involved in some monster matches. You faced recently John Brezink. Tomorrow you face another legend from another part of the world. You've flown across the world to do this, but your left arm's been super impressive. How can you deal with this man tomorrow?
I hadn't put a lot of thought into it. I've had a lot of good success with my left ever since the surgery. The style that I pull now has just worked super well. I don't have a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I'm just ready to go.
Now, you talk about pressure from outside and from internally, Corey. When we spoke and when we were in Dubai, you said that you put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform, even when you got a good result over there in terms of the performance against Alex Kadetcha. It seems like you set the bar very high. And yet every time we see you come out now, you're facing the cream of the crop. And again, another opportunity to cement that tomorrow when you face Ferit. Have you had the opportunity to study him much? Do you know a lot about this guy? There's a lot of footage out there.
No, I think we're going to be going a little bit different direction, which I think works in my favor. Again, just super excited to test it. Tested it over and over since the surgery, and it's done me well.
We'll move over to Ferit Osmanly. Ferit, super experienced guy. You're pulling an enormous young man, and this is something of a banana skin. He's a dangerous man to arm wrestle against, particularly on that left arm.
Senin ne düşündüğünü soruyor. Çok tehlikeli bir rakibe karşı diyor, maç yapıyorsun diyor. Ne düşündüğünü soruyor.
Vallahi bir şey düşünmüyorum. Yani çıkacağım, maçımı yapacağım. Tehlikeli diye de düşünmüyorum tehlikeli olduğunu. Çünkü maçlarını izledim. Yani izleyeceğiz, bakacağız yani.
He said he's not thinking about anything. He doesn't think he's dangerous. He has watched his matches. He will go and pull, but he doesn't think he's that dangerous as you describe.
And Ferit, can you break down where you see the weaknesses in Corey West? He's looked impressive. We haven't seen him lose on this arm for a long period of time. And his last outing on the left arm was remarkable and really put him on the map. How can you change things up and take him apart?
Onun neresini o zaman, madem o kadar tehlikeli görmüyorsun, zayıf neresini görüyorsun diyor. O son dönemlerde diyor hiç yenilmedi diyor. Son kazandığı maçta Cody Merritt'e karşı o da diyor bayağı iyi gözüktü diyor.
Ya sporcuların her zaman zirvede olduğunu düşünmüyorum. Çünkü iniş çıkışlar oluyor. Belki Cody Merritt'te o düşüş dönemindeydi ama maçlarını izlediğimde yani çok öyle ultra şeyi görmüyorum yani maçını. Ama güçlü tabii olabilir. Umarım güzel geçer. Ben güzel maçtan yanayım. Onun için ben de elimden gelen her şeyi yapacağım. Çok da iyi tanımıyorum ama rakip olduğundan beri izliyorum maçlarını.
Gözün kesiyor yani.
Gözüm kesiyor.
Yeah, he says that, you know, he doesn't know, like athletes may not be in the super form all the time. He doesn't know if Cody also was in his best shape or not. He may be, he may not, you know, this is what he says. And since he says that he's very, very strong, I see, and I have been watching his matches. But he says that, you know, he believes he can win. This is what he says, yeah.
We're going to see it tomorrow night, guys. Two very, very powerful guys. The legend against the wannabe newcomer. Can you make it count tomorrow, Corey? We are about to find out. We move on to our next match, ladies and gents. Chance Shaw, David Alabuli. Chance, we'll start with you, mate. You came into the sport with an enormous amount of hype, and every match we saw you pull was a big name matchup. This is something of a change. Tomorrow, you pull a guy that many people out there may not know about, and yet he's dangerous. How does that change the dynamic mentally for you, mate? Is this a chance to slip under the radar yourself, or are you feeling a bit more pressured?
I wouldn't say I feel more or less pressure. Every time I come into a match, I just focus on bringing the best version of myself. It's a bit odd to me that somehow I found myself in a situation where most people have me as the favorite. I just think that's because they don't know who David is and they don't know how strong he is. If I'm able to pull it off tomorrow, which I believe I will be able to, I believe this will be my biggest win yet.
Now, a moment ago, I was saying to Corey that he had a lot of evidence out there, reference documented. He can go and look back at video. He can go and check out match after match after match of Ferit Osmanly, know everything about him. Not the case here. Alabuli, not so much. Have you been able to research this guy? Have you done your homework, Chance? Or are you flying blind?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of content out there on him, but I have been able to find enough where I have a good feeling of the lanes that he has access to or that he believes he'll have access to. I've done a good amount of research, and I feel like I've been able to come up with a good game plan.
We'll go to David. Obviously, I wanted to ask you, mate. Everybody knows about Chance. He's been a hot property recently. A little bit like Doug Erlich, you can come in and really put yourself on the map here. And one of the criticisms that have been thrown Chance's way is that he's monotechnical. He's all about the top roll and doesn't have much of an inside game. Do you see this as stylistically a good match for you?
For me, it is the better because I need stronger guys to my opponent, to be my opponent, and all of this is motivated me and giving me more to get stronger, and like how he will more stronger, then I will become the stronger, and that's all.
Now, we know that in Georgia there are so many amazing arm wrestlers. We know you stepped away from the sport for a while. I wanted to just ask you, why was that, mate? Were you injured? Were you just demotivated? What was the reason for not being around the sport for a while?
No, I didn't stop training, just there is not competition to be part of this. And this is the first competition since 3 years, but all of this time I training hard, and David Alabuli, who was 3 years before, this is different guy, and who I am now, this is different guy. So if someone see my videos who was taken 3 years before, this weakness is not, already I done this weakness, and I'm different person, so just
now, Chance, coming back to you, hearing that from David, knowing what he's got around him, the old saying, iron sharpens iron, well, he's got an amazing amount of iron to work with over there in Georgia. Does that send a little chill down your spine when you hear him say that?
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, he trains with the best arm wrestler on the planet. He trains with Irakli. He trains with Levon. He doesn't train with me. So although, of course, they have great tools, they don't have the same style. I still believe that he's going to have difficulty stylistically. I believe it's a really good matchup for me.
David, on one of the recent videos of Levon, they said that if you lose, they're not going to accept you to the club to train with them.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yeah, this is important things for me. This is most big motivation for me. So
yeah.
So I did my best. So I did my best to be there, and my friend just helped me for this. And I think only this help is enough to win tomorrow. That's all.
Yeah. How do you see your chance in percentage?
Like personally, I don't think. I know that tomorrow someone will win, someone will lose. Just I did all the best to become tomorrow winner. That's all. But personally, I don't know.
Yeah. Good luck, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, from one specialist top roller from the West in Chance Shaw to another one who's been on a tear recently at the opposite end of the weight class. Mindaugas Terasitis, a guy who's quickly gaining a reputation as somebody who does what he does very, very well. He will face Nurlock Arakan, who is the reigning world champion. A point to prove tomorrow, Mindaugas. You get the opportunity to reverse a decision from the WAF. Where's your head at going into this one, mate?
I'm feeling pretty confident. Normally, maybe I would prefer to play some more mind games before the match. But Nurlock comes from Shardara, and they have a different culture. They are extremely respectful, and so I will also respect his culture. I will not necessarily talk too many bad things about him. He's a really strong guy, very versatile. He managed to win WAF Worlds, 75 kilo. He can be extremely explosive, but if he is stopped, he can also have good endurance. So yes, it seems like a very, very strong opponent. Me, on the other hand, I would also say that I'm probably one of the strongest guys in the class. So I'm confident in my physical strength. But I feel like my biggest advantage is probably my brain. You know, some our regular arm wrestlers, they might still analyze techniques. They might you know, try to learn different moves and you know, look into different technical details of the game, because arm wrestling is like chess, right? You really have like a whole spectrum of different styles and so on. But you know, for me, all of these styles are very well known. I have covered them all. I have mastered arm wrestling completely. So, and please don't question me about it. I know me and you, Neil, we had a discussion a bit earlier. You were trying to question my knowledge.
Yep.
You were saying that you probably know some moves which I wouldn't know about, and you showed me to them to me.
Yep.
But then all the moves were already, like I knew them already, and they were pretty basic to me. So I was not impressed. And I know that me being so smart might seem like a bit like cheating, but it's not against the rules. And I intend to use all of my knowledge in my fight with Nurlock over 6 rounds, and I will destroy him.
Well, how many rounds?
5. 3.
I can verify that that conversation with Mindaugas did take place, and he did know everything. But then again, I also get the feeling that the day I bought my wife her wedding ring, if I'd opened the box, Mindaugas would have already known what it looked like. He's that kind of guy.
Exactly.
Now, enough about me, Mindaugas. Let's talk about your opponent. The last time we saw you arm wrestle, you competed against Justin Bishop. Justin Bishop is a purist top roller compared with the guy you're going to face tomorrow. Last time it was a battle of snipers. It was who could draw the weapon first and fire. This is a very different thing. Tomorrow, it's not fire versus fire, it's fire versus water, fire versus ice. This guy's looking to just freeze out your game completely. He's explosive, he's fast, and he thinks he's stronger than you. Is he?
Well, he might be a bit faster than me. We will find out. I guess catching him is the first thing I have to worry about. So I'll just make sure I stop the match, and afterwards, the fun will happen.
Let's go over to Nurlock. Obviously, you know all about the man you're going to face. You know, as he's just told us, that he has mastered the sport of arm wrestling completely. Do you have anything in the bag of tricks that this man hasn't seen before and doesn't have a counter for?
Барлықтан ассалаумағалейкум. Mindaugas мықты спортшының бірі, тәжірибелі. Құдай қаласа ертең жарыста тартысты әрі қызықты күрес болады деп ойлаймын.
So he said that Mindaugas is a very good opponent, very smart opponent, very strong opponent. But he believes he has prepared something tomorrow that you will have never, ever encountered on arm wrestling table before. And he believes it's going to be an explosive match.
Thank you for translating, son.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be an interesting thing to see tomorrow. Whether or not Nurlock has come up with something unique that the master arm wrestler that is, Ndaugas Moriarty Terasitis, has not seen. Engin wants to just jump in, got a little bit of a...
For people who doesn't know about Nurdalet, Nurdalet has won WAF World Championships in 4 different categories. And in the 5th one, he took 2nd place. So he won gold in 4 different categories. In the 5th category, he took silver. And he's the current world champion. And this guy can pull inside, side, and outside. So he can pull in all the directions. Yeah, so just people may not know him, but he's a very good puller.
Great match coming up tomorrow in the lightweight division, ladies and gentlemen. We've said before here at East versus West that we want to introduce new people. We want to introduce new blood, new names, exciting talents from around the world. We have got one coming into tomorrow's matchup. He's from Canada, the famous Ottawa High Hookers Club, training under Devon Larratt. His name is Curtis Cameron, maybe better known as Pork Chop. Porky, welcome to the show, mate. I wanted to ask you, you come into East versus West, as I understand it, this is your first big international outing, the first big show. You're flying the flag for Canada. You're flying the flag for the High Hookers, and you're flying the flag for yourself. How do you feel coming into this? The nerves good?
I feel really good. I prepared really well for this match, and rather than go back and forth with the trash talk, I'd rather just do a practical experiment if I can have the floor here for 5 minutes. And I'd like to show everybody, you know, like in science class when you do practical experiments. So I'm just going to do one and show you what I'm going to do on Saturday. So I wrote notes here. Step 1, PPE and parameters. So I got my PPE here, my gloves. Got a tissue here. So put that out there. Put this here. I've never done this live, this experiment. So
first time, okay.
This is the first time, so anything can happen here, folks. So
it's okay, we like dynamism.
Safety is very important, so you're going to want to back up a little bit. Maybe you step back. And maybe keep 4 feet here, nobody go in that area.
Zurab is asking, is he going to
like a
do
safety
some
line?
cooking?
Yeah, that's a safety line.
Is he going to do some cooking for him or something?
Okay. So it's nice to see that you're paying attention to health and safety, Curtis.
Yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Anything can happen here with this experiment, okay? Okay. You never know. So step 2, does anybody have an egg? I need an egg. Yeah.
And you
hopefully
need an
somebody has an egg. Oh, nice. Nice. Beautiful. Awesome, thank you. So this is an egg. Can you verify, can you put the camera up here and verify that this is an egg? Awesome, perfect. Oh wait, you wouldn't happen to have a rock too, right? I need a rock, man. Like, this is serious. Really, a big guy like you brings me a little rock like this. Oh, I had a feeling you were going to let me down. I had a feeling. So I brought this rock all the way from Canada. Much bigger, stronger. So basically Saturday, there's going to be this little egg and this big, strong rock, and they're going to come together. That's what's going to happen Saturday, folks. Right there. Smash time.
Curtis, this is... Oh my God! Curtis, this is chicken stick. Tomorrow you will see my balls.
Bring it on, brother. Bring it on.
Damn.
Crack.
Yeah.
Now, I want to come over to Zurab. You've just watched that fascinating science experiment that took place on the other side of the room there.
Zurab, we didn't hear. What did you say?
This is chicken's egg.
Chicken egg?
Yeah. Tomorrow you will see my balls.
Yeah.
I didn't still get that. What did he say?
Curtis,
was a
you can
chicken egg?
crack as many chicken eggs as you wish, but you cannot crack his balls. That's what basically he's saying.
I'm not necessarily seeing the correlation between the balls thing, but rocks and balls, bad.
Yeah, rocks and balls that don't go hand in hand at all. That just is really bad. So that's what's going to happen.
Now, joking aside, Zurab, you've just seen the fascinating science experiment on the other side of the room. You know that there's a lot of hype behind this guy. He's a guy that, if you listen to Devon would tell you that he's going to come over and run through you. Any nerves tomorrow going into this thing?
ახლა ცოტა სერიოზულად ვუპასუხებ. მართლა დევონის თქმით ძალიან ძლიერია კურტისი და მე ამით კმაყოფილი ვარ, რომ ძლიერი კონკურენტი მყავს. თუმცა ეს შოუ ტყუილად დადგა, იმიტომ რომ ის აუცილებლად წააგებს 3-0-ს.
So, speaking seriously right now, guys, like Devon said, Zurab's opponent is very tough, very strong opponent, and Zurab appreciates that he gets the chance to pull one of the very strongest opponents he has, and but all this spectacle, like fascinating show that he has brought all the way from Canada will be just in vain, because it will be totally opposite tomorrow. So, yeah, we will see who is going to be Egg and who's going to be The Rock.
We will see. We will see.
Now,
Be ready,
Zurab.
buddy. Be ready, brother. It's going down.
Zurab, a lot of people that you faced here in East versus West have tried to go around your power. They didn't want to come inside and face you bone on bone. We saw you pull against Ron Bath in an incredible match. We saw you pull against John Brezink, same situation, managed to get around you. Chance Shaw looking for the top roll. Most recently, Ryan Bowen looking for the top roll. Pork chop, Curtis Cameron looking for the hook. How does that make you feel?
მე ვფიქრობ პორკ ჩოპს ფიზიკური ძალა დიდი გააჩნია, მაგრამ ტექნიკის მხრივ ცოტა მინუსი აქვს ალბათ, ხო და თუ მას სურს რომ ჰუკში ვიბრძოლოთ, მე ამაზე წინააღმდეგი არ ვარ. შემიძლია ახლა შევუთანხმდე. წინააღმდეგ შემთხვევაში ვფიქრობ, რომ ექსპერიმენტების მსხვერპლი თვითონ გახდება.
Curtis may be a strong opponent, as strong as he believes that he is, but Zurab is saying right here, right now, they can make an agreement that they both go in hook, because Zurab is confident that his power will overcome Curtis' power, and Curtis will be the victim of his own experiment.
So you want me to go in a hook, so are you afraid I might top roll you? You want me to hook you so I don't top roll you, right?
მაგ შემთხვევაში ვფიქრობ, შენი მაჯა იგივე პოზიციაში იქნება, როგორც ოფიციანტს მოაქვს ფოდნոցი.
So if you try to go and top roll him, your wrist will end up in the same position as the waitress position when she is delivering the meal for the clients.
Well, we will see. We will see. I don't think so, buddy. I don't think it's going to go past center. You're going to get stuck right at center. You're going to hit the rock, buddy. Crack.
ბევრი ლაპარაკი მე მგონი ჯობს იმას შეპოვარივით რაღაც სადილი მოგვიმზადა აქ. მე მგონი მაგას ჯობს.
He's saying that it would be better, instead of talking all that much, just to carry on what you have started with this all this uniform as if Chef Povar and do this cook some meal for the athletes. That would be better than just talk.
It's all good, buddy. We'll see you Saturday. See what you got.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zurab, Curtis Cameron. It's on Saturday night. Head-on car crash. It's going to go down. Don't miss it. Get that pay-per-view bought right away. We move to our next match, ladies and gents, and it is in the ladies' division. And our first girl that I'm going to introduce you to is widely regarded as one of the greatest female arm wrestlers of all time, proudly representing the nation of Brazil. Welcome the Iron Angel, Gabriella Vasconcelos.
Hi there. Very happy to be here again, defending my title.
Now, Gabi, that's a big girl over there.
I know. Well, I think arm wrestling is one of the sports that we can show that size doesn't really matter. And it's more than just pure strength, although I really rely on mine. But I do also rely on my 22 years of experience. And I'm planning on showing her why I've been winning world titles since she was born.
Her opponent, Barbara Bachova of Slovakia, competing at different classes. You may feel these girls, bringing them together, it might look a little bit visually off. But the issue has been, for Gabriella, there's nobody left for this girl to arm wrestle. Engin had the difficult task of finding someone for you to pull. This one's created a lot of excitement. Barbara, I wanted to know how you feel going into this one against a girl that most people think is the GOAT in the heavy division.
Hello, I know who is she. She is GOAT, she is multiple world champion, she is queen, but my time has come. I know that I beat her. I made a promise in my family. I have promised my best friend that I will beat her, and I know it.
Don't make promise you can keep. Yeah. I think her time will come eventually, but it's not now. It's not anytime soon while I'm here. It's not happening.
Joker aside, you've had an eye on this girl.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Barbara is a very, very good arm wrestler. She's got all the tools in the game. She top rolls great. She stays compact. Everything is there, and she's the much bigger girl. Where do you see your real acid weapons against to close that down, to close the space and make this thing happen in a phone box? Is it doable?
Yeah, and I'll show you all tomorrow. I won't reveal my game plan here, but I'm betting on many aspects that she has not faced yet, even at World Championships. To start, our size difference will count. Although she's bigger and apparently stronger, I think apparently she seems stronger, but I think I'm stronger. So I think the size difference will be in my favor this time. And well, she has faced big girls too, and I'm not sure how comfortable she'll feel when she grabbed my hand. So I think I'm very confident in my winning tomorrow.
Barbara, you've faced a lot of top arm wrestlers, but it's hard for you to find an opponent of this perceived level, at least. Do you think this represents the hardest match of your career to date?
I know that I can beat her. The last 5 or 6 months were the hardest in my life. Anywhere where I was, I seen Gabriella. I wake up, I seen Gabriella. I made my breakfast, I seen Gabriella. And today I called with my mom, and she told me, darling, you can do it.
Gabriella,
Mom say that, right?
when we talk,
Mom say
you
that.
said something about the bigger she is.
Yeah, the bigger is the fall, right? So
I don't know. You said that. Just say it to her face.
Thank you, Angie.
Yeah, come on. But she said that. She said, listen. She says, I'm going to beat her. Don't be
said
like,
that,
just say at least.
No,
what you just said.
I've said I'm gonna show her like why I've been winning world titles since she was born, and I've been called old to be doing this for this long, as long as she's been around. And that being said, I'll have to teach her like how to really feels to face the current best in the world.
Barbara, she said, bigger she is, harder she will fall.
Yeah.
We will see tomorrow.
Okay.
I got one more question for you, Gabriella.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've struggled to find opponents of that level. You've faced the same few girls a number of times because there's no one else that you can't defeat very easily. Was it kind of exciting and refreshing for you when Barbara came on the scene, and how long has she been on your radar?
Yeah, she hasn't been long on my radar because previous to that, I have been targeting English so badly. And now it's like, although I'm very confident, I haven't pulled her ever. We haven't felt each other's hands. So I think the first rounds are gonna be like us discovering how to pull each other. But it's good to have a known target. And since she hasn't been around for so long, I also didn't have much footage of her. But I basically know her style, and I've trained for that, so I'll be good tomorrow.
Gabriella, if she loses, she doesn't have any other choice than coming back and trying to beat you again. But you have pulled in 80 kilo and also plus 80 kilo.
Yeah.
If you lose her, are you gonna go down to 80 kilo, or you will try again because she's so young, and then if you cannot beat her tomorrow, next time she will be even stronger. She's only 22. And I remember when I tried to set this match was 2021 WAF Worlds. I told with you are like, and then 15 minutes later you came back, yeah, I'm gonna pull her. And now, here we are. And
Yeah, well, I think, first off, if I lose, it's gonna be like my first loss in I don't know how many years. I can't recall my last loss like in a very good tournament like that. It's definitely not happened in any world championships since 2013. But I think if I lose, I'll have like the right of a rematch. Yeah. And also, besides that, I want to be the 80 kilo world champion here too. So.
You only want to win the both categories.
Both categories in the same time. So I don't want to be choosing one and another. Like it's already in my plans to go down to 80 again and claim both titles.
So just know that you have all the credits in the world, you know, in any case, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
wish you both the best.
Thank you.
Bachova, Vasconcelos tomorrow night. Massive ladies match up there. Tune in, get that pay-per-view. But guys, one man in the sport of arm wrestling has got to be the GOAT. Might as well be this guy. You know what's really bad when you're in a press conference? When you suddenly find out, as you're already starting the build-up to the match, that you are actively announcing the wrong match. It's bad. We're gonna go to the next. We've changed the order a little bit. It's not a problem because I love this guy too. And I'm not knocking you. You may be the GOAT, Craig. But I'm going to give it to John tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Craig Tuoye show starts tomorrow at East versus West. There's been hype around you, mate. A lot of people have wanted to see you here. Felt like you deserve to be here, should be here. You got the experience, the reputation in the USA, and tomorrow we get to see it go down. The Fury is in the house. What are you bringing into East versus West 6, Craig Tuoye?
I'm very excited to be a part of this. Thank you, Ingen, for inviting me. And I really am excited to be able to have a chance to pull David. He's the best there is. And I've prepared. I've been preparing for a long time. And I'm very excited to be able to be across from the table from him.
David Samusha is a guy that we've seen out here pulling before. You've actually trained with one of the athletes that faced him in a previous outing. You had a training session, we understand, very recently with Paul Linn. What did you learn from that, and what confidence has that given you going into the match?
Me and Paul, we've gone a way back, and we did some training sessions preparing me for David. David really doesn't have any really holes in his game. He's very strong, very versatile. So me and Paul worked on what versions that looks best for me to pull with him. I think me and him are similar in a lot of ways. We both like to go inside. We both are strong in the hook. Have a very strong hand. So it was good to pick Paul's brain on what he felt when he pulled David.
Let's introduce Craig's opponent. He needs no introduction. He's the man, David Samusha. Welcome back to the show, mate. East versus West, number 6. They keep wheeling out the monsters for you to face, and another one in America's Craig Tuoye. What does this guy bring to the table tomorrow that's different from the men you've faced before, and how are you feeling going into this?
ერთი რაღაცის ხმა შემეძლია, რომ ძალიან ძლიერი მოწინააღმდეგე არის. პირადად არ შევხვდრილ არ მაქვს, ანუ ჩვენ შეჯიბზე არ შევხვდრილ, მაგრამ ვიდეოებიდან ვიცი, რომ ძალიან ძლიერი სპორტსმენი არის. ნახე რამოდენმე ვიდეო, აი ძალიან ძლიერებთან და ცნობილებთან. ვიტყოდი, რომ ერთ-ერთი საუკეთესოა ამერიკის შეერთებულ შტატებში თავიწონეთ კატეგორიაში. ძლიერი სპორტსმენია, სხვა ვერაფერს ვერ ვიტყვი. ერთ-ერთი უძლიერესი სპორტსმენია ამერიკაში, საშუალო ზონაში.
So he started saying by he's unclear how strong he is, obviously because they have never met personally each other and never tested each other's strength. But considering the videos and all type of archives that David has ever found about Craig's history of pulling one of the elites in western side of this awesome sport, he says that Craig is certainly one of the best, if not the best, in his category in USA. So he's just saying that he's happy, and basically he admires that he's really strong. He knows, he acknowledges that.
Now, Craig, let's come back to you for a moment, mate. I also want to bring Paul Linn on this as well, but stylistically, a lot of people seemed like this is pretty much straight down the middle of the road. We've got the top roller, or your option is in the top roll against the guy that if he can put the brakes on you, put you in the hook, it's going to be more his game. Is that how you see it, or do you feel like this is a lot more complex?
I mean, I think it's it could go either way. I mean, it could go, he put the brakes or I could put the brakes. You know, the good thing is if you're the one in the driver's seat that can do that. And I've really worked really hard to get to that point. I'm very confident either way that we go. You know, and it's just, it's who wants it the most. And I mean, I'm there, and I've proved myself to get to here, and he has too. And I think the best person's going to win tomorrow, and I feel very confident.
I want to go back with pretty much the same question to David. Just, he said a moment ago that he's watched a lot of video footage. He appreciates Craig's level. I'm sure he appreciates his technical prowess. Where does he see the biggest threat from Craig Tuoye?
ისე ვიდეოებიდან ვიტყვი, ანუ პირადად არ მქონია შეხება კრეიგთან, ხო და იქიდან გამომდინარე ვერ ვიტყვი, მაგრამ ვიდეოებიდან ვიცი, რომ აი ყველაფერს უნდა ელოდე, ყველაფერი ძლიერი აქვს, მხარშიც, ბიცეპსშიც, ყველაფერს უნდა ელოდე რა, ერთ-ერთი ისეთი კლაუჟდელი არის, რომ ყველა კუთხე, ყველა ისა დამუშავებული აქვს და ძალიან დიდი გამოცდილება აქვს, პლუს დავამატებდე კიდე. ყველაფერს უნდა ელოდე სპორტში, არის ერთ-ერთი ისეთი, რომ
Neil, he also comes from the same video sources as he mentioned above, and he's saying that basically Craig is good in every direction. He's good in shoulder, he's good in biceps, he could go either way, and he knows that it will be really tough battle tomorrow. And like he said, the best gonna win. And he knows that he's coming the best there, as best as he can. So, yeah, basically he acknowledges that as well.
A match that truly does represent the highest level. Before we move on from this match, I just wanted to see if we can hand the mic down to Paul Linn. I wouldn't mind getting Paul's thoughts on this. Paul, you're a guy who has trained very recently with Craig, you know Craig inside out. You've pulled here at East versus West against this man. How do you see this thing going on Saturday night?
So I think everybody knows that Craig is lightning fast. So I think a lot of it's going to come down to the setup and the load. And if Craig has access to speed to get to the lanes where he wants to get, I think if the match falls into a deep, low wrist-to-wrist hook, we're going to see an absolute war. If not, it could be quick one way or the other. But if it falls into that wrist-to-wrist low hook and endurance becomes a thing, I think we could see an absolute war. What a lot of people don't know about Craig is that he's not just speed. His static strength is also incredible, and his defensive holding strength is incredible. I obviously, you know, I'm rooting for Craig hard, definitely want him to win, but there's that little piece of me that kind of wants to see that crazy war too.
What a fantastic match in prospect. One of the most exciting cards on tomorrow. I really think this is the highlight of it. This is a stacked card, but there are certain matches that are gems, and that's definitely one of them. Tuoye, Samusha, tomorrow night by that pay-per-view, guys. Before I make myself look at Pinas one more time, I'm going to check in with Engin. Where are we going next, mate? That's great, because I was not going to announce that match. Alijan Muratoff next up, I believe, in our matchup. And this is another one I'm super excited about. Petrenko and Muratoff. We're going to start with Oleg. Oleg, we saw you last time out here at East versus West with a ridiculously dominant performance. You ran through the competition. However, this is a very, very different prospect. Muratoff is on a hot drive at the moment. We saw him at the WL weighing only 94, 95 kilograms in body weight, smash through the super heavyweight division. He's fast, he's explosive, and the word on the street says that if the match stops, he's rock strong there too. How are you going to deal with this guy?
Так, минулий раз в мене була хороша форма, але цей раз ще краща форма. Я знаю Аліжана, давно слідкую за ним, бачу, він виграв чемпіонат світу. Він сильний, але я думаю зупинити його старт швидкий і побороти.
So if the previous time my shape was good, now my shape is on a whole another level. I have been watching Alijan win Worlds. I've been watching his matches, but I'm thinking if I get the start, then I'll take over the match.
I wanted to ask you, Oleg, obviously a lot of people believe that the biggest threat is represented by that blistering start, the pace out of the blocks. Do you have something up your sleeve to deal with that? This is a guy who doesn't load, he just explodes.
Я готувався на тренуваннях під його техніку боротьби, тому в мене є декілька варіантів розвитку нашого армфайту. Я думаю, що буде все добре, і я зможу його зупинити і для себе здобути перемогу.
I have been watching the way Alijan trains, the way he pulls, and I adjusted my training just like so. So I've been ready to get ready for the hit. I'm ready for the training, and you know, I think once the match starts, there's no stopping for me.
Alijan, let's bring you in at this point. You've just come back from an impressive performance at the WAF. Everybody was talking about what you achieved there, the fact that you were such a light individual and yet managed to run through the bigger men. Do you feel like this match against Oleg represents a step up in competition for that, or a step down in competition from that?
Спасибо большое. В первую очередь хотел поприветствовать всех участников данного соревнования, а также поблагодарить организаторов, в том числе Engin, Аби. Что я могу сказать о сопернике? Олег Петренко, ученик покойного Андрея Пушкаря. Я не думаю, что он слабый. Я не могу недооценивать своего соперника. Так что завтрашний бой покажет, как все случится. Я не могу сказать, что его так выиграю. Ну, я работал как раньше над собой, ничего не изменял и буду навязывать свою борьбу.
So he greeted all the competitors, everyone watching. He thanked Engin and everyone else for making this to happen. He's very well knows his opponent. He knows he's a student of Andrei Pushkar. He knows exactly how he pulls. He said he didn't change anything in his preparation. He believes he can make this match his match, but to figure out will it be harder or easier, only tomorrow we will know.
One more question I have for you, Alexander. Obviously, many people, as I say, see this speed versus power. How important is the start for you against Oleg? If this man does stop you, have you got a plan B?
Что я могу сказать о своей технике? Я многие годы работал над этой техникой, и других вариантов, думаю, не будет. Буду работать только своей техникой. Альтернативные варианты я тут не вижу, только надо действовать, отрабатывать свою борьбу. Если я, допустим, слабый, нежели что Petrenko, значит, я проиграл, да, можно сказать. А если я сумел выиграть, значит, я сильный. Вот так вот я рассуждаю. Спасибо.
He said he spent years developing his style and training his style, so he doesn't have options B, C, or anything else. It's just option A. He believes if Petrenko beats him right there and then, he is weaker, and if he beats Petrenko, he is stronger.
Ladies and gents, what a matchup tomorrow. Oleg Petrenko, Alexander Muratoff, left-hander, exciting stuff. That one should be thunder and lightning indoors. Get that pay-per-view bought, guys. Stacked card up. We move to our next match. Corey West, Arif Ertem. Corey, you're a busy boy tomorrow night. They've brought some tough guys for you to pull. You know a lot about this man. I know you came on our podcast and you told us what you knew about him. Give everybody a breakdown on how you see this match going tomorrow. A different prospect from another very solid Turkish competitor.
I don't know which direction he'll try to go. I don't have a fear of either. I hope he tries to go outside. That would work out great. But if he wants to come inside, I'm ready.
I want to come to you before we go over to Arif. Obviously, this is a match we talked about at length. How do you see this match going?
I cannot know where the match goes. I only know the possibilities. Unlike his left arm, which is pronated based outside, with right arm, Corey is not pronated based, but more like wrist based side pressure. He goes. So Arif goes outer side pressure. And then so it is gonna be the first, it will be a battle between Arif's outer side pressure and his wrist, Corey's wrist. And so if Corey's wrist is dominant enough to control Arif right away, he's gonna put Arif to bad position. But if his wrist is not that dominant, then he's gonna get that hit. So what I'm just saying, whoever can be offensive, I think will have the edge. But I'm sure that Arif also have some inside weapon. If it doesn't work, probably he would try that one, but we will see. And you know the possibilities, but if you don't know exactly how strong they are, you don't really have a clear idea about how it will go.
Now, Arif, you've watched a lot of this guy in action recently. He's been everywhere, pretty much. This guy's been super active. When we spoke to Engin about the match, he told us that your best performances are often when a guy is trying to chase you down, trying to put you inside, and that you're very best when that's what you're facing. do you feel like stylistically, as a result of that, this is a good match for you tomorrow? Because we know that Corey wants to shut the space down and put you on the inside.
Yeah, but stylistically good, but this is like very tough challenge, yeah? Yeah. Anyways, Arif diyor ki, yani genelde diyor insanlar diyor ki, hani birisi Arif'in elinden uzaklaşmak yerine illa onu yakalayacağım diye uğraştığı zaman Arif için diyor genelde daha iyi oluyordu yani. Karşındaki kişi de o tarafa doğru diyor maç yapıyor diyor. Hani ne düşünüyorsun bunun hakkında diyor.
Yani evet doğru. Yani elimden uzaklaştığında biraz problem yaşıyordum ama şu an o kadar o problemi artık yaşamıyorum. Yani o yönde de biraz daha güçlendirdiğimi düşünüyorum. Tabii ki biraz daha benim istediğim bir maçı aslında yapıyor. Bu arada hani sol ve sağdaki tekniği aynı dediğin gibi eğer ki benim pronatörümü baskın bir şekilde, dominant bir şekilde bloklarsa hani benim için büyük bir sorun olabilir. Yani o söylediklerine %100 katılıyorum. Yani
ama alternatifinde var eğer öyle bir şey.
Tabii ki alternatifim de hazır. Hatta belki 3 tane de alternatifim olabilir. Yani her türlü savaşa hazırım kısacası.
Okay. Yeah, he says correct that you know where he is attacking is where his best part, but you know if he is strong enough to control there, he may be in trouble. But he has. I said, but you have alternative. He says I have like 3 other strategies: plan B, C, D. Yeah. Anyway, so, but he said that, you know, yeah, people, when they are going far away to his hand, there has been some problem for him, but he also fixed that problem, and he's gonna get better, yeah.
Corey, I wanted to ask you one more question, which many people might not be thinking about. Obviously, you're pulling 2 matches tomorrow, and your first match is against a very, very strong man in Ferit Osmanly. We've seen that before when arm wrestlers pull 2 matches of this magnitude on one night. It can create problems mentally, physically. It's just hard to maintain that, particularly if there's a decent gap between those matches. How have you prepared yourself for that scenario?
Before that, I want to add something. Yeah. That is true, but there will be probably 2 or 2.5, maybe even 3 hours in between. And yeah, Ferit also is pulling 2 matches. And then, yeah, you can answer.
Yeah, like you said, I've never pulled 2 people at this level in the same event, but I have pulled a lot of events where I did pull 2. I do always prefer to pull left first for some odd reason. I've had great success up to this point. I don't really fear it.
I don't want people to get me wrong. It was Corey's idea to add the left arm to the competition. Yeah. So he said, "How about left?" And I said, "Okay, I'll find you another opponent as well." Yeah, just to be clear.
Exuberant of youth. Let's bring Michael Todd in for a moment. I just want to ask him on that. Mike, you're known obviously for the endurance side of the game. This is a slightly different question. To Mike Todd. You worked a lot with Corey. You know this guy's endurance back to front. Is this a bigger challenge because of the 2 matches, mate? If you were managing him, would you have said do 1 or 2 matches?
I would have told him to do 2. I mean, he's young enough. He's got a ridiculously bright future. This is just going to be fun for him. You know, I mean, if he was to not be victorious, it's just one event in a lifetime of events. But my money's on Corey, both arms.
Confidence from the Team USA, Corey West and Arif Ertem. We're going to our next match, and it will be... Oh my God, what I'm looking forward to. Gennady Quickvinia, ladies and gentlemen. Ferit Osmanly. This is a match that is so long overdue. I cannot wait, and I hope you guys out there are excited about this as well. We're going to come to Gennady, you first. Guys, you have been around the sport for so long. You know each other inside out. Gennady, we've seen you accelerate your game and improve in this format of competition. Tomorrow, can you make a statement here against Ferit Osmanly?
პირველ რიგში მინდა ენკინტერს ისო მადლობა გადაუხადო ესეთ ტურნირის ჩატარებისთვის. რაც შეეხება ჩემს კონკურენტს ფარიდ ოსმანს, მე დიდი ხანია ვიცნობ. ჩემამდე იყო კარგ ფორმაში და მე რაღაც პერიოდის განმავლობაში ჩვენი შეხვედრებიც მოხდა და მე დავამარცხა და ბოლოს სხვათა შორის ფარიდ ოსმანმა დავამარცხა მე ოსეთში.
So first of all, he's thankful to you, Engin, for invitation. As always, it's a pleasure for him. And speaking of Neil, speaking of his experience with Ferit Osmanly, like you said, they have a huge history and they know each other pretty much well. And Gennady said that last time they fought, Ferit has the win against him in Ossetin, and this time he's like raging to have a revenge on him, and he's pretty much confident in this. But he wants to continue, so.
მის მერე ჩვენ ერთმანეთს არ შევხვედრივარ და ძალიან მაინტერესებს, იმიტომ რომ ბოლო ტურნირზე, ბოლოზე არა, მაგის წინა ტურნირზე ფარიდ ოსმანი კარგად გამოვიდა, კარგად იესპარეზა, მაგრამ აქ იმასაც დავამატებ, რომ მე სულ სხვა ფორმაში ვარ დღეს პირობით და თუ ფარიდ ოსმანს ჩემი დამარცხება უნდა აუცილებლად დაჭირდება, მაგას დიდი მონდომება და რა თქმა უნდა ბრძოლა, იმიტომ რომ მე ამ შეხვედრისთვის მზად ვარ. კი, მეგობრული განწყობა მაქვს, მაგრამ მაგიდასთან მე მეგობრობას ვივიწყებ და გადავდივარ ძალიან დიდ ბრძოლაში.
So moving forward, he talked about himself, how he has gained and upgraded his game in this awesome sport. He said that last time, but not last time, like real last time, but before last time, Ferit Osmanly has a really good competition in which he performed really well, and Gennady is thinking that Ferit Osmanly is even better shape, that he has fought him back in last time. But Gennady is also very much improved. He's improved tremendously, and even though they are really good friends, he's gonna throw that friendship as long as they are at the arm wrestling table. It's all done, and he's gonna be like fearless opponent for him, and it will be tremendously tough for Ferit to somehow overcome Gennady.
და რა თქმა უნდა ფარის დაჭირდება ძალიან დიდი ძალა, მოხერხება და ტექნიკა, რასაც მაგისგან ველოდები, მე ველოდები ბრძოლას, ბრძოლის გარეშე მე ამ შეხვედრის დათმობას არ ვაპირებ და შესაბამისად ვაფასებ როგორ ძლიერ კონკურენტს, მაგრამ აუცილებლად უნდა ელოდოს დამარცხებას, იმიტომ რომ დათმობას არ ვაპირებ.
And like he said, he repeated himself saying by Ferit will need really to figure out how to beat him, because it will be really tough for Ferit. He's gonna offer him a tough war, but also he said, moreover, Ferit gonna have to accept the loss, because he has to prepare for loss, because Gennady is not gonna willing to let anything down. He's gonna come at him, and he's sure that he's gonna beat him. And he's waiting his answer, and then he's ready to also re-answer. So now it's ball is on Ferit's court.
I'll come over to you, Ferit. Obviously, as we heard from Gennady there, you guys have been back and forward before in main draw arm wrestling competition. Here we see you over the duration, super match. You get an opportunity to show every weapon in your arsenal, and we know that this is a very versatile guy. The other thing that people have questioned you on is your endurance, Ferit. Have you trained anything differently to withstand the versatility of this guy, the endurance of this guy?
Ferit, siz daha önce diyor böyle turnuvalarda diyor çok karşılaştınız diyor. Şimdi diyor burada teke tek maç olacak. Karşındaki kişi çok yönlü maç yapan birisi. Senin diyor dayanıklılığın çok iyi olmadığını düşünenler var diyor. Katılıyor musun? Katılıyorsan dayanıklılığın üzerine çalıştın mı diyor.
Abi az önce dile getiremedim. Teşekkür ederim organize için ve sizin için. Az önce dile getiremedim. Organize için, sizin için Engin abi teşekkür ediyorum. Böyle bir turnuvaya davet ettiğiniz için. Aslında ben Gennady ile evet daha önce Avrupa ve Dünya Şampiyonası'nda her zaman yarı finallerde karşılaştığım bir rakibim.
olması gereken bir maçtır. Evet, ben öyle düşünmüyorum. Ben yeter ki antrenmanlı olayım. Benim dayanıklılığım fena değil. O dayanıklılığımla alakalı eski travmalarımdan dolayıdır. Ama şu anda travmalarım geçti. Hiçbir sıkıntı yok kollarımda. Güzel maç çıkacağını düşünüyorum. İnşallah güzel olur.
First of all, thanks for the organization, and he says that he and Gennady has pulled against each other many times in tournaments, in semifinals, finals, and this match should have happened. And he said that he does not agree that he has endurance problem. He had some kind of injuries that it costed him to not to be able to pull so hard. But he said that now he's healthy and he can pull hard enough, yeah. And then I would like to also ask to Denis Siplenko what he thinks about this match. Can anybody help me to translate? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Travis is gonna translate for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Can you ask him what he thinks about this match? Yeah.
Давно знаю этих парней, такие старые воины, вместе выступали, за всеми слежу, за обоими, да. Что хочу сказать. Фарид только начал набирать форму, он давно не выступал. Гена все-таки раз через раз выступает, показывает хорошие результаты, поэтому все-таки здесь он, наверное, будет таким небольшим явным фаворитом. И плюс еще не в пользу фаворита играет то, что у него арфайт будет на левую руку, тоже, я думаю, тяжелый. Поэтому здесь вот преимущество будет у Гены, конечно. А так, удачи парням, хороший поединок и победит сильнейший.
Okay, I'll try to remember everything. He said, these are my old fighting buddies, the old warriors. He said most likely, he's been looking at them and following them for years, and he knows that Farid just right now started getting back into arm wrestling and taking back into good shape. So he believes there's, if anyone is favorite, it's Gennady. He's very active, plus Farid's pulling 2 matches, so he thinks he might get a little tired in a whole day. So he gives an edge to Gennady, but he hopes it's a good match and wishes luck to both of them.
And Travis?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I was just checking to make sure that that Coach Ray was on point. So, yeah, but I'm very fluent in Russian, Kazakhstan, Georgian. If you guys have any questions here, just let me know. Turkish as well.
We ask your opinion about the match.
I am super excited. I mean, Gennady's energy, I think, is one of the big reasons why, if you're a fan of arm wrestling, that you really enjoy the situation. Ferit has been a tremendous competitor, for me and the rest of the U.S. for many years, and I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited to see. I'd really like to see Gennady win and that energy and all that stuff, but even his energy in the losses is really good too. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going with Ferit. 3-1.
Big prediction. I've got to get your prediction now, Engin. You can't sit there. Oh, he's taking the Switzerland position, staying on the fence. What a match that one is, guys. Gennady Quickvinya. Ferit Osmanly. Huge match on tomorrow night's card. Did I mention, have you got your pay-per-view? You should have by now. We're moving on to our next match, and this is a very exciting prospect from the USA, a rising star of the sport over there, Paul Linn. Super popular, being on a tear here in East versus West, never more so, Paul, than your last outing when you tore through the competition. Shocked everybody, I think, maybe including yourself, with the way you got the job done. But it's fair to say you're about to step up, potentially, in competition when you face Rustam Babayev. Super decorated. We know he's been away from the sport for about a year. Where's your head at going into this thing? Huge challenge.
I mean, obviously, to this point, I've been blessed enough to be able to pull a bunch of legends, one sitting to the left of me. Rustam, to me, is on that exact same level and appears to be in prime form. So looking at it from all perspectives, I understand the levels. I understand the difference in pedigree and experience. I understand the difference in potential strength. And I'm just blessed to be able to have the opportunity. And I believe as far as preparation for this, I've checked all the boxes. All I can control is what I can control, the things in my power. My diet was good, game plan, check. You know, preparation in the gym, check. Going and training with the likes of Craig in preparation for simulation, traveling for training, check. Coming here, making the weight cut, check. So I've done everything that I can do. It's pretty much to the point now where I'm at peace with what happens one way or another, and blessed to be able to just get here. Proverbs 21:31 says, the horse may be prepared for battle, but victory rests with the Lord, and that's where I'm at right now.
Now, Paul, we know that you're a diligent guy, you're a coach, you're a guy that likes to break apart opponents. Week after week, you come on the fix, and we talk about guys, and you break down the style. You also told me that you like getting to the competition and just getting up close on the guy, feeling what they're about. You learn so much from literally visualizing them in person. Now that you've seen him, what was the comment about? All the stuff telling you, he's not so big. Is he? Do you see a big guy there? Do you see a physical threat in this man?
I mean, he's exactly what's expected. To be honest, I was hoping he was going to come in a little bit less shape. So no, absolutely what's expected. His style is absolutely impeccable. He's flawless with his angle. I've seen him set up several different ways now for different opponents. The Todd Hutchings match really sticks out to me because I've just never seen anyone handle Todd like that.
You've actually come into where I was going to go with the next question. Have you been sort of on the phone to Todd?
I've spoke to Todd a little bit, and I think I have a fair understanding as to why we, never got to see the stop. Because, Travis, like you said earlier on the podcast, we never got to see that stop. But it was incredible that we never did get to see the stop. So I'm hoping, if things go as planned, we'll get to see a stop and see an arm wrestling match. And if it gets to that point and we see a match or it gets to be a long one, I'm satisfied with that.
So let's bring in the legendary Rustam Babayev at this stage. Rustam, welcome to the show, mate. Great to see you here at East versus West, and I know a lot of people feel that it's overdue. I said at the start of the piece there, you've been away from the sport for about a year. People have been questioning one thing. The respect is out there. Everybody knows that if you come back in where you went away, you're going to be the favorite in this match. Is that where you are? Do you believe that there is a level now that represents the old Rustam, the one that everybody remembers from the great titles you've achieved in this game?
Ну, в первую очередь хочу всех поприветствовать, спортсменов, организаторов, поблагодарить, что пригласили на это соревнование. Ну, конечно же, из-за того, что долго не выступал, есть определенные какие-то моменты, которые нужно увидеть в этом поединке. И лишний раз себе показать, что все нормально, все в порядке. То есть, естественно, практики давно не было, но, в общем-то, опыта, я думаю, мне хватит. Ну, я буду стараться, я готовился хорошо. В общем-то, как говорится, за столом все увидим, но и своего соперника я еще не знаю до конца, потому что человек тоже на топе сейчас выступал постоянно, я так наблюдал за ним. И надо сравниться. Так что-то с воздуха говорить не буду, но готовился и приехал побеждать.
So he said he wants to thank, first of all, organizers, all the athletes, everyone, for a chance that he is here. He said the thing that worries him is that he hasn't competed. He doesn't have a lot of practice on real competition level. He doesn't know much about Paul. He said, of course, I see the videos, but there's no way to figure out where we rank with each other just by talking. And how it always is, the table will show, but he has come in a good shape, prepared, he's healthy, he's ready, and he feels he is strong.
I wanted to also ask Rustam, just for the people at home, for your opponent and so on, can you give us any more detail about why you were away from the game for the time you took out?
Во-первых, потому что в 2019 году я участвовал в соревнованиях топ-8. Там были условия, нигде, кроме этих соревнований, я не могу выступать. Потом был ковид, потом были проблемы. Ну, сами понимаете, проблемы начались и в последнее время, и из-за этого не было возможности даже нормально заниматься периодически, но, в общем-то, форму нагнал и приехал не проигрывать однозначно.
So he said in 2019 he competed for top 8, and there was a clause in the contract where you don't compete anywhere else. He said, and then the COVID, and then the other things happened, and pretty much he's been on and off with the training and everything else. But he said he prepared good for this one, and he has no, like, it's not even in his mind at all to lose. So he's ready, and he's here to win.
How motivated are you, Rustam, coming into this match? Because you said a moment ago you don't know a great deal about Paul. Every time we've seen you out in your recent past, it's been actually giant killing. We saw you against the likes of Tim Bresnan. We saw you against bigger men. Here, not necessarily a bigger man. This is a similar sized man. This is right there in your weight class. Is this does this motivate you? Is it as much of a threat as you've been used to?
Сейчас ты это 95 килограмм. Тебе есть мотивация выиграть, стать чемпионом, или ты смотришь это как проверку для себя? Если ты опять можешь быть первым до 95, ты можешь пойти выше.
Ну, конечно же, я выступал в категории, да, плюс в открытом весе, да. Только потому, что не было других вариантов, ну, я согласился на тот вариант из-за того, что был на топе тогда. То есть я примерно понимал свои ресурсы, понимал свою силу. Сейчас мне сложно сказать что-то в связи с тем, что не выступал уже 3 с лишним года, и мне нужно сейчас сначала провериться, а потом думать дальше. То есть первый шаг, степ-бай-степ, как говорится.
He said at one point there was no other choice to compete on the highest level except the open weight class on the heavyweights. And now there's a chance right here to compete on his weight class. And again, to figure out where he is and get all the motivation he needs. He's very motivated for this one.
Rustam, I don't know what's your form level, but once you are in your best today, do you feel that you can beat anyone on this earth under 95 kilo?
Right now, in this form, or?
No, I mean, once he feels like he's 95% now when he's 100, you know.
На своей лучшей форме до 95 килограмм. Ты думаешь, что ты сам если не можешь
победить всех? Is his confidence against Paul that works against anyone else under 95 or not?
Ты чувствуешь, что
Когда был? Как-то будешь? Ну, я не могу так сейчас прогнозировать, потому что... Это информация, эта информация еще мне, можно сказать, недоступна, потому что это надо проверить. Мне надо подготовиться и побороться. Как я могу сейчас это так утверждать, если я даже еще ни одной схватки не провел с топами или вообще там за 3 с лишним года. В любом случае мне нужна реабилитация, как и любому спортсмену, который долго не выступал.
He said, it's been a long time off. There's no way of knowing. He said he needs to build that confidence by having these matches, and when he has those matches, he will build that confidence, and most likely, he still believes he can be the best of the best.
Last question for you after hearing all that, Paul, Linn. Do you feel like that potential little lack of confidence is an opening that you can exploit tomorrow night?
I mean, I don't necessarily see that as a lack of confidence, but rather like a realism in the situation. But if it is, then hopefully that plays to my advantage. Again, it's been, you know, short 6 years that I've been in this sport. And for me, I'm kind of pinching myself that I'm even sitting at this table with these guys and now having a shot at a world title. So I'm blessed to be in that position. I'm blessed to be the underdog, and I'm thankful I'm thankful to Rustam even for accepting me as a challenge. But I don't do everything I do with the intention of losing.
John Brzezinski, I just want to ask you about this one, mate, because at its best, you're someone who's very familiar with Rustam Babayev. You most recently pulled Paul Linn. How do you see this match working out? Does your countryman have what it takes to deal with a man who I know you hold in as high regard as you have for Rustam?
Yeah, no, Paul's definitely capable. He's on the level of myself, Todd Hutchins, Ron Bath, but it's all going to depend on Rustam Babayev. Rustam Babayev is the giant killer, and he can come crashing down extremely hard on people's biceps. He's very explosive, but Paul Linn is also very explosive. So if the match stops, I don't think it's going to stop because I think it's just too much explosivity on both sides of the table. But yeah, it's going to depend on how good a shape Rustam is in, because Paul Linn is no joke. He's gonna feel something tomorrow.
You can feel that, guys. Absolutely bristling for that one. Paul Linn, Rustam Babayev. Engin, I think you wanted to throw something in there too.
All I will just say that I weigh these guys. They wanted to check their weights, and Paul's shoulder, back, arms, it was like I have never seen before. He's, I think, probably in best shape of his life. He looked very dangerous.
Came prepared, Paul Linn. Came prepared. Talking of coming prepared physically, the man sat at the side of you, Monster Michael Todd, lean, mean, ready to go. You're had an air of confidence around you, Michael Todd, this last couple of days. Maybe a rare occurrence when a man is pulling someone who is as known, deadly, as Kuriali Ongabayev. Ongabayev is a beast, and yet you seem in a good place here, Mike.
I'm actually in a really good place. I'm going to be honest, it's a lot more fun to come over here and pull supers and not have to cut weight. Although the weight cut went way easier than I thought, so that was awesome.
No issues with back fat, looking good.
I'm jacked. So basically, the way I see this is I had an opportunity for a world championship match. I got injured. Engin offered me a lot of options for this particular event, and I may have chosen the most difficult one. I want a world title match. If I can't get one at 115, give me 105. I'll make the weight, whatever I have to do. So, I mean, be careful what you ask for. That young man's a bad dude. I mean, he's a reigning champ for a reason. But this is the premier organization to declare our professional world champions. And I'm in my 33rd year doing this. I turned 50 in 5 months, and there could be no better gift for me than be head raised high, hand raised high, light heavyweight champion of the world. And that's what I came here to do.
Now let's talk for a moment about what a threat this guy represents. We know he's from a nation of killers, and arguably, pound for pound, they're most dangerous. A number of people have said that he is a one-trick pony. He can do one thing and he does it really well. A number of people, Mike, have said that you are in some respects at this level a one-trick pony. You can do one thing, but you do incredibly well. You're that guy. I know that's something you dispute, Michael, but what can you do to get around this guy if he can get around the Kings?
Hey, listen, I am not taking him lightly at all. I'm honored to be here, to be in a world title match. It's amazing for me. Like I said, I've been doing this a very long time, but yet right now I feel like I'm just getting started. I am the happiest I've been in a very long time. I don't feel all the pressure that I've previously felt. I think that's an inaccurate assessment of both of us. I think we both have a lot of options. I just need to be in the match. And if I am, I believe I'll come out on top. I know he's going to be explosive. I know he's strong. Like I said, I'm just happy to be here. Like, this literally is the least pressure I've felt in any event in a very long time. And normally, that puts me in a very good place.
Let's bring in Kurdigali. You heard what Michael said there. I know Ray has been translating it. And I asked Michael about the fact that a lot of people may not realize that Michael has versatility and he can do a lot of things well. Do you see the primary threat from Michael Todd as being the king's move?
Всем здравствуйте. Я очень рад с Майклом Тоддом бороться. Он хороший спортсмен, легендарный спортсмен. Я давно хотел бороться с ним. Я очень хорошо готовился. Я буду всех сил поставить на этом столу завтра. Все, я готовился очень хорошо. Не знаю, как будет борьба, но я Майкл Тоддом очень хорошо тренировался, но другим способом буду бороться.
He said most likely he's greeted everyone, and he's very happy to be here for this opportunity. He knows Michael very well. He said he trained really hard, prepared for this match. He said like he believes it might go to the Kings, but if it goes to any other thing, he's well ready for that as well. He's well prepared for that too.
I wanted to sort of throw the sort of same question at Kurdigali, a little bit the opposite way. Most people seem to believe that his primary threat is the top roll. If Michael can close that avenue down and can put the match anywhere else, what does he have up his sleeve to deal with that? Can he hook with this guy? Can he stop the press?
He can definitely hook. Bad.
Я все верхом попробую. Сначала верхом попробую. Если не хватает, трицепсом могу бороться.
He said pretty much like this. He's like, I'll try top roll. If that doesn't work, we'll see.
I'm quite confident in his hook. Like, I've seen this guy hook, and he's awesome. I've actually been impressed with him ever since his first round top 8 versus Levon. I mean, he showed that what he's capable of, and that was peeling out probably the strongest hand in the sport. So I've been a fan of this guy for a while now. And, you know, watching his performance against John was very impressive. He's an amazing athlete. Like I said, he holds the shield and the helmet right now. So, I mean, I would be naive to think that this is just, oh, my mate went down to a lighter weight, I'm going to automatically win. I have a very tough opponent in front of me tomorrow. It's a very big challenge, but it's one that I'm ready for.
I believe that both of these guys are versatile. I would like to remind his match against Alex Kurdecha, much bigger guy. He lost his wrist and he still won that match. I have seen him hooking Dimitri Slayev at Zloty and beating him. And he can also top roll. This guy can pull in any direction, and this guy also has incredible endurance. So I believe that both are very explosive, but Kurdigali is more like he can go to the pin pad directly, while most of the time Michael just positions first. But they also have incredible endurance, and I think that incredible match is waiting for us. Yeah, let's ask to Dennis as well, you know, what he thinks. Dennis, what do you think about this match on Garbayev and Michael?
Ну, когда Гали так отвечал, то что он убедил меня в своей победе. А в свою очередь хочу сказать Майклу тот, я его таким легким никогда не видел. И если будет кинг-мув, я думаю, у Кадыр Гали хватит углов и выносливости выиграть этот поединок.
He said that he was very impressed with Kidigali's last victory. And he has never seen Michael this small in person. So he believes if the match goes to the King's move, he believes Kidigali has the endurance and the power to beat it.
Travis, not translation, please, just directly your prediction.
I believe that this will be, if Gennady doesn't steal the show there in about match 8 or 9, whenever it is, that this will be the match that I think that will bring the house down. So it's going to be awesome. I think the hand control and whether that Babayev can actually separate when they're in the straps, and because the closer and tighter they are together, I think it'll help Michael. And you know, Mike's taken a couple ass whippings here lately, so I got a feeling that he's coming to win. And I'm rooting for Michael Todd, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. Kidigali's got incredible endurance. I can imagine that he might be able to get the offensive position on Mike. My concern would be for Kidigali to win, he would have to have a finishing move, and I'm not sure he's going to commit to a shoulder roll with Mike. So I'll give the endurance to Kidigali, but I'll give the heart to Michael Todd, and I think I've got disclosure. I have money bet on Michael, so.
John Brezink giving the endurance to Kidigali, but the heart to monster Michael Todd, and he's going with Michael Todd. What a match. Got to be honest with you, can't wait for that one.
Yeah, endurance is also incredible, and heart, we saw him against Lewan. The guy also has big heart. He doesn't show so much impression, but inside of him, a big giant is living there. Yeah.
And Gitsos going for Kidigali.
I just want an injury-free match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want us to have a great match and neither one of us get hurt. Come on now. We don't need to be too aggressive.
I said I go for Kidigali. I never said that. No, I never said that.
Oh, no.
Why are you doing that? Yeah, I just said that. John gave endurance here and heart there, and I give endurance to both and the heart to both. That's all I said.
I got one question that I didn't ask. Yeah. Mike, one question we've danced around a little bit when we've been out in the corridors and so on, but we haven't dealt with here. The bicep. A lot of conversation around the bicep, how healthy that is. How much of a road check have you had on that thing? Where's your confidence setting in your bicep tendon?
I was actually second guessing it up until a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I competed, felt painful. I was like, oh shit, I think I've injured it again. And but I hadn't done anything for like 9 weeks in the healing process.
Yep.
So a lot of it was just soreness. I went back in, got another ultrasound done, and to my astonishment, they're like, yeah, the tendon looks better than it did 3 weeks ago. So I have complete confidence that my stem cells and exosomes and Vitacell Biologics are amazing. Cold monster. Yeah, so I honestly think that I am in the best possible form I can be in. I don't think anything's going to... I feel really good, guys. I'm excited. Like, if we had a table, we could do it right now. Like, I'm very excited to arm wrestle. Like, this is... Yeah.
I really thought that you would be much smaller than this.
So you and Dennis disagree, right?
I don't see anything that just some fat and water is gone. All the muscle is just there. And until tomorrow evening, I think that water will come back. And I don't know how much power you will be losing from your super heavyweight shape. I don't know. It's surprisingly you're big, seriously.
Well, thank you.
Small, yeah.
Yeah, he looks really in good shape. So.
Yeah, he really does. Michael Todd.
Big credit to Rebecca for that nutrition, girl.
I will also ask something, Dennis, before we go Jerry match. Dennis said that he has never seen Michael this small, but does he think that for 105 kilo, he is small?
he said like, no, I said, he said, I have never seen him this small. Yeah. That's it.
For 100, 500, does he think he is small or big? Michael, show us somewhere.
He's like, I used to see him big, now I see him small.
That's exactly what he said, Michael. I used to see him big, now I see him small. And he said, he said most likely he has lost some power from super heavyweights, but he still looks strong.
What a match that one is. Monster Michael Todd, Kuragali, Babayev, Thunder and Lightning tomorrow night. East versus West 6 pay-per-view. Get it done. We're moving on to our next match, and we're welcoming back to East versus West after last time. Got to be the match of the night. It was Jerry Carteret. Last time out, mate, you faced the very godlike man sat just down there. This is a big boy himself. He's got massive experience, and he's very confident, Jerry. George, he thinks he can take you apart. What have you got for this man?
Last time here, when I faced Gennady, he was super impressive, right? And I was amazed at the level of strength, technique, everything that he had was great. This time, I looked up the map and I saw where Bulgaria was, and I was happy that he's not going to have that far to go home a loser. There's a neighboring state. I don't want to get into a long match like I was last time, you know. So I don't intend on making them long like Gennady did to me last time. That sucked, right? And so I would like to make quicker work of Georgie, and so we'll look for it to be faster matches.
Do you feel like a lot more pressure on you this time, Jerry? Because, to be honest, you're the guy that often flies under the radar. Guys like John, guys like Mike, Travis, that know you very well have always said, Jerry, when he comes ready, is a very, very difficult man to beat. And there was a lot of confidence from the sort of hometown guys last time you came here. Pretty much everybody else thought you were going to struggle that day. Now it's different. You arrived again. You had a second coming that day. You walked away and everybody was talking about you, Jerry. Here, I think everybody is sort of expecting you to win. Does that give you more pressure?
It's always pressure. I mean, you're never going to take anyone lightly, you know, because he's obviously a well-established, proven athlete, and he's got plenty of titles under his belt. But as a competitor, you can never think you're going to lose. You always want to visualize yourself winning, and that's obviously what I'm doing is I'm visualizing winning. And, you know, I'm happy to take the match. I'm glad that Georgie stepped up. I just feel as though I'm looking forward to the match, but I'm also looking forward to the next match, right? So it's a transition. So you have to get through this one to get to the next one. So, you know, I expect him to be super strong. I just have to be a little bit stronger. I expect him to be quick. I just got to be a little bit faster.
Georgie, let's bring you in, mate, at this stage. Obviously, you know exactly what you are up against here on Saturday night. You've seen Jerry perform. You know what he's capable of, and you saw him effectively outlast a guy that's known for endurance in Gennady Quickvinia, who then went on to say that he was shocked at how strong Jerry was. And yet you seem supremely confident that you've got the weapons to deal with this guy. What are you bringing into this thing that we don't know?
Hello, guys. Hello to everybody, to the sportsmen, to the organizers. I'm pretty confident that I can win because I think that I have all the weapons to win, the skill. I have already big experience, and the most important thing is that I have the will to win. And I think that this match will be very difficult for me because his game is very bad for my technique, but I trained hard and I improved my technique, and I think that I will win. I'm confident in that.
I wanted to ask you, Georgie, this is a hard guy to train for, because it's not like you can go out and emulate what he does. He's a bit of a unicorn. Nobody does what Jerry does. How have you trained for this?
I improved my technique for the biceps, for the side pressure. I had very good sparring partners, and I think that I improved much my endurance because I will need more endurance for this fight. And I think that it will work.
Same question the other way. We saw you last time. People had genuine concerns because your shirt was so tight. Shirt's too tight, hanging.
Oh,
no,
man.
this time,
I was near death at that.
better fitting shirt. And you just told us a moment ago you want to get this thing over quick. Any changes expected tomorrow night, Jerry? Anything different been done?
I think last time I came in, what?
Any changes? He said, I think we're going to topple him.
Yeah. I was thinking about going outside. But I think England got bigger shirts, which is good. And then I did, last time I would say I had a little bit of ring rust, right? Because I'd been out for, probably close to 2 years. And having be put back on the center stage, I think was something that, you can't practice that, right? That's something that happens when it happens. But I look at it as, I've been doing the sport since he was born, right? So he can't say he has as much experience as me, right? But so I think experience and strength is going to play a good factor.
Now, a moment ago, mate, you said, I can't help but pick up on this. You said, I'm looking forward to this match, but I'm also looking forward to the next match. In your mind, if you get through Georgie, who is that next match? Who do you want?
Well, I obviously want the winner of Levon and Hermes, right? I mean, you'd be a fool not to want that match. And I was pissed that I hurt my shoulder prior to the Hermes match because I felt as though, and I feel even more so after watching the match with Dave, that my style would prove to be hard on Hermes. And but whatever, we have to wait and see now. And but I did, I was pissed that I got hurt in doing that. But I did say that I would have did it hurt, right? But England didn't want me to pull if I wasn't 100%. So I got it. And that was the smarter thing because me taking 7 weeks off healing was huge.
Levon says that he is not going to pull before July again. And I invited Levon to East versus West 8. And we have an April event. If you guys, I don't know, whoever wins, I don't know.
Just keep looking at me.
You guys plan to put, what do I mean, if? But, like, is there any plan, if yes, to compete East versus West 7? And if yes, is there anyone you would like to pull? You said you want to pull Levon if you win tomorrow.
I don't know what that word "if" means, but
teach him. He says that he doesn't know what the word "if" means.
I replaced the word "if" with "when."
I will steer the pot now.
I think that he is very confident, and he must not be so confident, and he must word what the word "if" means, because tomorrow he will be destroyed.
We'll see. We'll see. It's
Jerry,
always good to have dreams.
Like,
again, short trip home for
If you beat him, then you like, is there any plan for April? And if you pull April, if you beat him, is there anyone on your mind before Levon? Because you won last time you came. A lot of people are thinking that you need to prove yourself a little bit more to show that you are ready for Levon, to pull against him. So do you plan anything before that if you win tomorrow? I will ask you the same question.
It'll be less for you. But.
What's that?
I said it'd be much less of a direction for him, but that's all right. Who he gets as the loser? Is that what you mean?
I have no idea.
England always avoids it. I wouldn't rule out April, right? I would not rule out a match before then if it wasn't going to be until July. Obviously, I like competing. I like getting at it. And then as for an opponent, I'm open to suggestions and
I
speaking.
understand, but is there any, like, someone that is just like winning, and just like anyone that is on your eyes that, okay, if I beat this guy, people will think that, okay, Jerry deserves to pull against Levan. Is there anyone like that?
I mean, I guess there would be, Travis? No. No, geez.
You remember the last time, right?
Yeah, that's the last time that you ever
pull the
faced
highlight
him.
film. I
Yeah.
posted it last night.
That's it. 1 out of 10 ain't bad.
Guys, don't forget, you are Team West.
Yeah.
No,
I heard,
not
I heard
now.
his prediction. He said it's
internal
50-50. He said it's 50-50, so I just, I want to give him shit, right? But
I will tell
a
you
friend to
honestly.
your face,
I will
but then
tell you
stabs you in
honestly.
the back.
Last time when Morozov was here, I asked him, "What do you think?"
I know.
He said he would crush you. Do you agree with that? I know you don't. But
Left-handed? Is that what you mean?
No, right arm.
No, he wouldn't win. But and I wouldn't rule him out. He's a beast. He's also up and coming. He's young. Morozov's young. These guys are young in the future of the sport. So, beating up on the young guys seems to be the way to go, right? I'm just following John's lead.
So you are thinking that, if that match, if you win this one, if that match is offered, you think you would defend your title against him, no problem?
Like I said, I wouldn't rule that out. I would not rule that out. That would be an interesting match.
Ingen has a really, and listen, we have a super direct question. If you win, will you pull Morozov or Hermes before you pull Levan?
I would definitely pull Hermes, right? And
check, right there it is. Set it up.
For Morozov. Then he'd be, got his tracks. He'd have his track shoes on. And he'd be running
Listen.
again.
Maybe I shouldn't say this, but all parties like this idea. There is something called legacy hammer, right?
Yeah.
And Levan is gonna bring that, right? Yeah. And Levan said if he's bringing the hammer, Hermes needs to bring the shield. So you are champion in East versus West, and interim world champion is Hermes, right? If Hermes loses in Dubai, that title is going to Levan.
I still have a shield in my room.
What's it? He's got his own shield. I know, but you won't be sharing this with Hermes anymore if Levan beats Hermes. If Hermes beats Levan, and then he's gonna have shield and legacy hammer. So if somehow you pull him, you beat him, you're gonna be pulling him for both legacy hammer and shield, yeah.
What, for Levan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first, 1 second. Here, Georgi. I'm not gonna tell you.
It's a speed bump.
I'm not gonna tell you if.
It's a big speed bump, but it's a speed bump.
Not if. After you beat Jerry, who do you want to pull in April?
Year 2040? Is this progressing in the future? Year 2040?
When I beat Jerry, I would like to pull against Dave Chaffee. It's
Dave
a dream
Chaffee?
match for me, yeah. I would like to pull him.
Oh, okay, I understand.
This is my target.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
understand.
possible.
But who knows? Maybe Dave Chaffee also has another match. Who knows?
He wants
you're talking to Engin Terzi. You can't expect Engin to not to have some matches set already. So
He wants to pull all the old heavy Americans.
Yeah. I want to have wins against all of you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's ask to Dennis. Dennis, what do you think about this match?
Джерри опасный соперник, непредсказуемый. То есть все знают, что делать, но не все могут это использовать, да? И поэтому тебе придется найти ключик, потому что если ты раз в капкан попадешься, то все, пиши пропало.
Jerry is a very dangerous opponent. Everybody knows what he's going to do. Nobody knows how to do it and what to do with it. So it's going to be really dangerous, and we're going to see if Gary will have to find some sort of special key to unlock Jerry's technique.
I have been in arm wrestling world for like 30-something years. I must say that Dennis is one of the most intelligent person I ever met, not because of what he said now, but from those private conversations and everything. This guy is also, he's like 100% just straightforward guy. Whatever he said before the press conference is just he's repeating everything here. You know, he's not doing any political answer, anything. You know. And Travis, how do you see this match?
I am super excited about the differences. When we watch Georgie, we see his whole body go towards the pin pad, sometimes leaving his arm back there. From experience, I can tell you that will be a tough gig. If you leave an opening for Jerry to put his shoulder between your hand and shoulder, it becomes a very difficult task. If you try to go all sideways, your elbow will fly off the back. If you plant your elbow, there's usually not enough side pressure to win. So with all that being said, Georgie's such a very extremely nice guy, so I'm definitely rooting for the Americans in every category. But I will say, as I look at all the Europeans, Georgie does have a special place, with me. So I'm hoping that it's a good match. But if he hasn't made that change, that it's going to be a tough gig.
Can I say something before we finish?
Georgie, 100%, brother, you go.
Everybody is laughing at me when I say on the social media that you are sweet and I will eat you like a candy bar. But I want to say now that when I see you now in front of me, Jerry, you are much sweeter. And my desire to eat you is much bigger.
I'll bring you a candy bar.
Ladies and gents, Georgie and Jerry go at it tomorrow night, Saturday night. Get your pay-per-view. We have one more match. We saved it to last. I nearly screwed it up for everybody by announcing it like an hour ago, but we've saved it to last. Ladies and gents. Zurikashvili Brzezinski will go last today, and I'm going to start with the GOAT. John, back at East versus West. You came back recently, you pulled Oleg and looked super impressive. The train continued. The next stop, stylistically, incredibly different to the man you faced last time. And when you look at the sort of form guide, few people would say that this is a more difficult test. This is a guy who's quick, who's going to look to try and blast around your power, not through it, doesn't allow you to get the bite. Where's the threat level with this young man?
There's definitely some concern. There's been a lot of big talk from the Levon Erlich training camp. A lot of hype, probably well-deserved hype. Yeah, no, all those things are true. Every match is different, Neil, as you know. My strengths might not even come into play, so, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Now, we've heard a lot of people say, oh, John's never faced a guy like this before. This is a new thing.
I think I have faced every single type of arm wrestler.
Now,
yeah.
Liliev.
Yeah, well.
This guy's got shades of the danger from the speed.
Liliev and this guy sitting to your right, also very similar style, very similar style. Posting style top row, a lot of back pressure, a lot of hitting hard outside. I know it's dangerous, but I'll find a way to deal with it.
Do you feel like he lacks some versatility potentially, John? Obviously, Irakli's a guy that when he's been stopped has struggled.
I think Erlich is pretty much, from what I've seen on the internet, which is all I can really go by. He's pretty one-dimensional. He has his move. He has his strong point. He has his favorite direction. I don't feel the danger of him coming towards me and hooking me. But that's always a possibility, so I'll be aware of it.
Let's bring Irakli in at this point. Irakli, huge opportunity for you here on Saturday night. You get the chance to pull, you get the chance to beat the GOAT. You told us that next time we saw you, we're going to see a very different man. What have you brought here for us to Istanbul?
მოგესალმებით პირველ რიგში. მადლობა მინდა გადაუხადო ენგის ასეთი კარგი ტურნირისთვის. მე როდესაც ვარჯიში დავიწყე, იყო 2012-13 წელი. მაშინ ჯონი უკვე ლეგენდა იყო, ერთ-ერთი მართლა ჩემი კუმირი იყო და მე მომერც მადლობას ვუხდი, რომ დღეს უკვე ჯონს ხვდები. შეიძლება მაშინ ვერ წარმოვიდგენდი საერთოდ, რომ პირადად ვნახავდი ჯონის, მაგრამ მე ახლა უკვე მატჩი მაქვს და ჯონისთან და ანუ იმდენად კარგი ის არის ჩემთვის, რომ ისე ვივარჯიშე, რომ ანუ გამარჯვებისთვის ვარ მხოლოდ აქ ჩამოსული და მხოლოდ მოგება მინდა რა.
So Engin, thanks for the invitation. First of all, he showed his gratitude towards to you to give him such an opportunity. And then he started saying about the GOAT since basically 2012-13 when he became in this sport involved as a professional level, directly speaking himself. John was already a GOAT, and also John was for him the guy who inspires him the most back then already when he started arm wrestling, right? And he would never imagine that one day he would even have such an opportunity to even pull against the GOAT. So he says that this is for me is like tremendously, really such an opportunity that it has to be used and it has to be utilized as best way possible. So there is no way that he came here for the loss.
And Irakli, obviously you're a confident guy. We've heard Levan talking about your level now and where you're at. You've got your biggest opportunity in your career. And we know you said before, if you got that shot, you wanted to be at your very, very best, the peak of your potential. Are we going to see that on Saturday night? Have you managed to be your peak potential? Is this the best of Irakli?
ნამდვილად ახლა საუკეთესო ფორმაში ვარ. ეგ ჩემი ფორმა ყველაზე კარგად ახლა ნუ ქართველებმა იციან და განსაკუთრებულად ლევანმა იცის, იმიტომ ლაპარაკობდა ჩემზე. ანუ ერთად ვარჯიშობ და ჩემს მართლა მაქსიმუმს ვაჩვენებ და ერთ-ერთ საუკეთესო ფორმაში ვარ, რაც ყოფილი ვარ. ბევრი ჩემი შეცდომები გამოვასწორე გამოცდილებისთან მიხედვით და ნუ ვფიქრობ, რომ უფრო მაღალ ლეველზე ვარ ახლა, ვიდრე ვიყავი წინა მატჩებში.
For sure, Neil, he has brought the best shape possible that he has ever brought to this sport. He said that obviously Levan talks such highly of him because Levan knows him the most, because they are obviously, it's not a secret, they are sparring partners, and other Georgians also pretty much know how strong he is, and he's going to prove himself that he's going to deliver the best shape possible because this opportunity has not to be missed. Yeah, he's ready.
Now, for a guy like yourself, who's been in the game as long as you have, has won as much as you have, you'd think you may be past nerves. But then you find yourself in a match with John Brzenk, with the greatest arm wrestler of all time. Does that change things? Are you nervous?
სულის ახლა არა ნერვიულობით ნამდვილად არ ნერვიულობ, მაგრამ როდესაც მაგიდასთან ჯონი გიდგას, მან უკვე ყველაფერი ნათქვამია და ყველაფერს უნდა მოელოდე, რა თქმა უნდა.
So it doesn't change the fact in terms of whether he's nervous or not. He's not nervous. He's not nervous right now about this upcoming match, but like you said, we are speaking about the GOAT. We're speaking about John, so he's expecting pretty much everything. Anything could happen. Anything could be done by GOAT. And so he is like confidence. His confidence is like 100%, and he's not nervous. He's ready to take this opportunity.
Irakli, Levan said that John should stay at home. And then John said that stay at home or crush your training partner. And he said he's gonna crush Levan's training partner. You have any answer to that?
ნუ რა თქმა უნდა არ მოეწონებოდა ჯონს, ახლა ლეგენდა არის და მასეთის სიტყვები ლევანისთან არ მოეწონა, გაბრაზდა, ნუ მისაღებიც არის და ნუ უფრო შოუსთვის ძალიან კარგია და ჩემთვისაც უფრო მეტი მოტივია ეგ რასაც ლაპარაკობენ რა.
He understands obviously John should have been expressing such a reaction that he did, because it's not pleasant, right, to say that you just have to stay home and not compete against a young arm wrestler like himself, Irakli is. But on the other hand, this is very good for show, this is good for himself, because all this highly talks about him and all this type of hype that is building around him gives him even more moral boost to use this. Yeah, he said that it will motivates him a lot more, because of all this hype is building up, because he has to prove himself, you know.
I feel very,
very, very lucky to still have the opportunity or still have the strength to be able to compete with this young man. And no matter what the outcome is, I truly suspect I'll see more of him in the coming years. So no matter what happens, I expect to see great things from this guy.
John, we had a chat the other night on the podcast that came in that we didn't get to answer, and it was directly about you. And a really pertinent question in this kind of situation. You've been in the game as long as you have. You're universally recognized as the best of all time. We've seen you go out of the sport for a little while, back into the sport, and it's fair to say that a couple of times in your career, your inspiration has dipped, your enthusiasm for the game has dipped. We recently saw you have stem cells, get some repair work done. Are you sort of here for a long time now? Are you excited about the sport again?
Well, the stem cells, the jury's still out on the stem cells. I would love to rewind the clock and tell you months from now that I feel like I did in my 30s and 40s, but the jury's still out on that. But yeah, no, I mean, just because of what England's doing in the teams, the East versus West, and the spectators getting excited about picking their team, and arm wrestling is just in a different place, so it's definitely easy to be motivated to excel in the sport right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time, and we're going to have to wrap the show up there. I think you'll agree, an incredibly exciting card tomorrow here at the Green Park Hotel and Casino. We're going to go about a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with the head-to-heads.
Yeah, I asked Travis if he wants to come back, and this is the note he put it. It says, "Show me the money." see you all 5 minutes later.
Ladies and gents, don't go away. We will see you in 5 minutes for the face-offs here at the Green Park. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Green Park Hotel and Resort here in Pendik, Istanbul. How could I forget the word dick at the end of where we're at? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet our athletes. We are going to face these guys and girls off. Engin, are you ready to get all excited? You know what happened last time. I'm going to get out a shot and let's introduce our athletes. And first of all, I'd like you to give a big round of applause and welcome Coach Ray Raymond's Llipinch. And he will face tomorrow Mr. Doug Erlich of the USA. Here we go. This will open the matches tomorrow night at East versus West 6. Erlich and Coach Ray. And straight away, that size differential being emphasized by Doug Erlich. What a match to start us off, guys, at East versus West 6. Pendik, Istanbul, Green Park Hotel and Resort. What a way to start it off. Next up, we will move to our Legends matchup. Robert Baxter of the USA. Ahmad Yennera, his opponent. And these guys have met before. They will meet again tomorrow night, Saturday night. It's on. They've shared the honors. Who will close the deal? We find out tomorrow. Baxter and Yennera here at East versus West 6 tomorrow night. Match number 3 on the card, Efe Cormac of Turkey. Will face Ibak Beckett. What a match we have here. Cormac looking straight through his opponent there. He knows he's got a challenge. A man with a greater pedigree in the red top, you may think, but a proud Turk on home nation can do a lot of damage. This should be exciting. Our next matchup, ladies and gents, the big boys, and they don't get much bigger than Corey West, the gorilla of the United States of America, here at East versus West, number 6. And West is here to do damage, the first of 2 outings, and he starts his night with Ferit Osmanly. Another man on home soil, the biggest we've ever seen, Ferit, at 135 kilograms, but the man he's facing is much bigger than that. Corey West, Ferit Osmanly, big match at East versus West. A rising young talent from the US. We'd like you to welcome him now, Mr. Chanshaw. He will face David Alabuli of Georgia. Georgia versus the USA. Look at the conditioning of Alabuli. This guy's so powerful. Corey West has been there before. Tricky individual, the young man from the US. What a great match. Top end against technique. Which wins over? We'll find out tomorrow night. Saturday night it goes down by your pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Now making his way to center stage for the head-to-head is a man who has mastered the sport of arm wrestling. Please welcome Moriarty Bandagas Terasitis. Nurlock Arakan of Kazakhstan. His opponent, the world champion Nurlock. Mendegas will try to put the brakes on, utilize that technique. Little bit of size differential there in the height. What a match. Explosivity from Nurlock. The top roll technician, Terasitis. From technical to top end power. Welcome making his debut at East versus West 6, Curtis Pork Chop Cameron. And his opponent will meet him head on in that very same place, Zurab Tavberidze of Georgia. Both these men love to get in there close, love to get into the deep hook matches. expect thunder and lightning, so similar physically. These guys are built and built. Look at the forearms on Zurab Tavberidze and Curtis Cameron. Showtime tomorrow night, East versus West. Who will hold their nerve? Who is most confident? We find out tomorrow night. Buy your pay-per-view to see these guys go down straight into that hook. Curtis Cameron, Zurab Tavberidze. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Gabriella, the Iron Angel, Vasconcelos. Barbara Babayev of Slovakia. Little bit of a size up on the showdown. Look at the size of Barbara. That is a big girl. So much physical advantages, but can she deal with the speed, the power, the explosivity of Gabriella Vasconcelos? Mega match tomorrow night here, East versus West 6. Toughest girls in the world may need a step ladder. From a lady many people regard as possibly the female GOAT to a man who most people regard as the male GOAT. He is the universally recognized greatest arm wrestler of all time, the perfect Storm, John Brzenk. John Brzenk here at East versus West, and he faces an incredibly dangerous opponent in Erlich Zerakashvili of Georgia. The young, explosive Georgian. What an athlete, this young man, looking for the top-end pace and the speed, trying to put an end to the reign of dominance of John Brzenk. Many have tried, many have failed. Tomorrow night, Zerakashvili gets his shot. Erlich and John go at it. Do not miss this. East versus West 6, bringing you the very best in world arm wrestling competition. Brzenk, Zerakashvili, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to welcome this man to East versus West competition. Please raise it up for the Fury from the United States of America, Craig Tuoye. And his opponent hailing from Georgia, he is the reigning champion of the East versus West. Give it up for David Samusha. Samusha and Tuoye, highly anticipated matchup in the men's middleweight division. This one should be thunder and lightning, guys. Tuoye, his debut here. And what a way to start with David Samusha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome now, making his way to the table, representing Ukraine, Oleg Petrenko. One of the most powerful men in his weight class in the world, and he will try to put the brakes on lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Alexander Muratoff. Alexander Muratoff of Kazakhstan, lethally dangerous, super explosive. What a match. You can feel the intensity coming. Look at the smile on the face of Engin Terzi. Loving this one. What a prospect. Oleg Petrenko, Engin ready to pop. Absolutely fantastic stuff. For the second time of asking on one night, we will get a look at the gorilla. Jaw-droppingly heavy. This guy is an absolute beast. Well, hang on to your water, ladies and gentlemen, and watch for the ripples as Corey West steps out to face another hometown talent. Arif Ertem is in Turkey. This guy will want to win badly. Ertem, hard to hook. Corey West will try to get him in there. What an incredible matchup in prospect there from the gorilla. Corey West Arif Ertem. Size comparison. Two very, very big boys right there, ladies and gentlemen. Also, for the second time of asking this magnificent event, is Ferit Osmanly, ladies and gentlemen, of Turkey. And he will be facing Gennady Quickvinya of Georgia. Quickvinya of Georgia. Osmanly of Turkey. Look at the size of these boys. Super experienced, super versatile. Who will come out on top? We've seen it many times in main draw competition. Tomorrow, super match format will decide the winner. Osmanly, Quickvinya. East versus West 6. What a match in prospect there. By the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Representing the United States of America, making his way back to East versus West 6, is the evergreen, ever popular White Oak, Mr. Paul Linn. And a returning legend making his debut at East versus West. Welcome back, Rustam Babayev. Rustam Babayev of Ukraine. Paul Linn of the United States of America. Buy that pay-per-view, Coresports. Look for the link in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Get it. Tomorrow night it goes down. Saturday night is the night these two men will clash on Coresports. If you wanted excitement, the barometer will go even higher for this next match. It will take place between two lethal arm wrestlers. Firstly, from the United States of America. He's been there. He's worn out the T-shirt. Give a round of applause and welcome Monster Michael Tall. His opponent from Kazakhstan. Welcome Kurdigali Ongabayev. Big reputations, versatility, endurance, and heart combined to make the athletes in front of us there. East versus West, number 6, tomorrow night. It goes down. Monster Mike, Kurdigali Ongabayev. We'll go head-to-head. Pay-per-view available now. Coresports. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see it here from the Green Park. And last, but by no means least, from the United States of America, we'd like you to welcome Jerry Kadare. And his opponent from Bulgaria, Georgi Svetkov. Two big boys, massive confidence. Time to back it up. Talk is cheap. Actions mean everything. And tomorrow night, Georgie and Jerry will go at it here from the Green Park Hotel and Resort at Istanbul, Turkey. Kadare, Svetkov. Look at the forearm on Georgi Svetkov. Brought that to do damage. But many men have tried, and Jerry Kadare withstands. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Engin Terzi. I can see you smiling from ear to ear, mate. It's on. Only one day away. Nobody's happier than you about what we're about to see. Exciting times for the sport, mate. What a card you've put together.
I think that I am one of the biggest arm wrestling fan. People knows me as an arm wrestler, organizer, but I think I am even more of a fan. So whenever I see, and I'm the one, who's setting all these matches, and whenever I see them like half a meter away from me, I'm like, yeah, time has come, Yeah. Thank you for Neil. Thank you for everything. You do a great job. In what you do, you're the best in the world for sure.
I don't know about you guys. I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, your pay-per-view, Coresports, it will go down here. And I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out then. We'll see you tomorrow night.